All right, so first of all, tell us what are you speaking on today?
The process of creating WOW for the organization, and it'll draw on my background with the United States Olympic Committee and having been in Beijing for the 2008 Summer Olympic Games, and trying to do a little bit of an interactive session to get people to think differently about how they might want to take care of their customers.
So it seems like an obvious thing, creating WOW for your customers. Can you give us a little preview of maybe what that would be?
Well, I'm going to use a little bit of rock and roll and some video, hopefully, if we can make the DVD player work, that's going to show some of the highlights of Beijing. And I think if you're not inspired really by what sport a lot of times gives you, whether it's Michael Phelps and his 8 gold medals or it's a winning touchdown in the last second, you start to understand that there are different ways to maybe think about your customer and helping them get to that win-win position.
So we always watch the Olympics on TV and we think about the Olympics as a sporting event, but it's really, from the production standpoint, a big customer service event as well. What are some of the big customer service issues at an Olympic event?
Well, you've got to make sure that the athletes are rested and that they're comfortable and they're not distracted, that they have the tools they need to be able to compete at their best. When a race comes down to 1/100th of a second, you want to make sure that that customer, in this case an athlete, hasn't been stressed in any way, that everything's been made as smooth as possible for them.
Can you give us one example of how to create a WOW experience?
One example of how to give you a WOW experience. I'm going to ask a question to the group, which is, and this is going to be an abstract way of answering your question, but for them to name 3 of their favorite bars and ask whether or not they go to them enough and sit down and think about what their customer really wants and what their customer really needs.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.